So I've been seeing a video going around a few weeks now. I think it was September 25th that this video first came out, the story first broke. But there's a video of a black kid, a minor. I'm not sure how old he is, probably 16. He's in North Charleston, and the police are pulling him down because a CVS clerk had called them for threatening to pull a knife on her. Right, so we're going to watch the video, and we're going to talk about it a little bit because, you know, some more information has come out. But I feel like so far people have been trying to kind of paint this as you know, like another instance of you know, a black thug you know, acting a certain kind of way and disrupting society and whatever. And there's been a lot of you know, really stupid fucking racist shit that's been attached to this video, particularly in the comments, but also, you know, occasionally with the people posting it. And I just want to talk about a little bit of this. So let's watch the video.
You're trying to kill me. Get the fuck off of me. I'm not stopping with you. You just trying to kill me. Stop.
He did nothing wrong. I was here the entire time. I was here the entire time. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong.
The
cop started it.
It was him.
He's a little boy.
He is a minor. He is a minor. And he did nothing wrong the entire time.
No, because it was him. He beat me up. I'm not stopping for you. He beat me up already.
Baby, just let go. Just let go and let him. Just let him.
You're fucking nasty. Get off. Get off.
Let him go.
Yes, he's a minor. They need to take his badge. They need to really take his badge.
He came aggressive. I'm not.
Let me go. You let him go.
It's on video. If y'all let me go, it's on that. My mom. It was all her fault. It was her.
Back up. You not your mom's number.
You're trying to take me down.
What is your mom's number? Officer. Sir.
No, it's no officer. You did this. You did this. You did this.
What did I do?
You did this. You did this. You did this. No, I was in the store the entire time, honey. I saw it all. No, defend you because he did nothing wrong. You were following him from the time he walked in the store. No, honey, no. Y'all are so wrong for this. Y'all are so wrong. And he is a freaking minor. That's the thing. This is somebody's child. No, I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything. This is a child.
Just let them talk. Just look. I can hear you. I don't need you yelling. I'm not a child. And I'm not your child.
Exactly. Exactly.
They would have never. Just let them cuff you. Just let them cuff you.
Baby, let him cuff you.
I can't.
Baby, go ahead and let him cuff you.
Back up.
Baby, go ahead and let him cuff you.
How many fucking people does it take?
Don't touch me again. Please don't touch me again.
I was being nice. He
How many fucking mercy on me, bro?
This is a damn child. This is somebody's baby. This is a child. We don't take all of this. That one man right there came up here aggressive. It don't make no damn sense. That is somebody's baby. And they playing with him like that. He's a fucking baby.
He came and straight choked him.
They get him wrong now.
That's dead wrong. I work here. I don't want to go and I work here.
And I was here the entire time and saw everything what happened.
No, I was trying to tell him what happened. I was sitting on the pool.
It don't make no sense.
How many do you fucking need?
Calm down. Calm down. She did. She did. And wait, she got behind the door. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say some shit. Behind the fucking door, you working now. Shut the fuck up, cause you done pissed me off. I don't care. My husband is an ex-cop. I can get up. I ain't worried about it. So shut the fuck up.
Stop resisting. We'll straighten it out.
Please calm down. Please calm down.
Y'all called because he pulled a knife on you.
No, he didn't. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't. Let me tell you something. If she don't know the slang, she needs to shut the hell up. Because the only thing he said, he'll pull out a band, and a band is money. If she don't know the slang, she needs to shut the hell up. I was here the whole entire time.
Okay, well, let's y'all back off.
I know this is scary, but I need you to calm down. Just calm down, okay? Baby, let them cuff you. Let them cuff you and get this over with. Because they gonna get theirs. Especially that little short fucker right there. His badge need to go.
Ah, my neck.
Stop resisting, sir.
Please
My neck.
stop. This don't make no damn sense. Quit telling him to stop, because they can hurt him.
No, please, he's crying, bro. How many people does it take, bro? Calm
Baby,
down.
just go ahead and let go. Because they're going to keep doing this shit. Just go ahead. Yes, they
I'm
are.
getting sued. I'm calling my mama.
That's
I'm
fine.
calling my mama.
Call your mama, okay?
I'm calling my mama.
What's your mama?
That don't make no damn sense.
What's your
Call his
mama?
mother. Call his mom.
Uh-huh.
406 5424.
2-4? And what's your name?
KJ.
KJ?
Yes, man.
This don't make no damn sense.
You're a minor.
That's a damn baby. And he don't got no fucking weapon.
Look at that.
If she don't know the slang, she needed to shut the fuck up. She ain't gonna have.
Yeah, so there you go. A lot of stuff going wrong in that video, I think. In that circumstance, you know, that entire scenario. To begin with, this is already sort of an old video, so it's come out. They never found a weapon, as they were alleging in the initial claim. The CVS clerk had called because he supposedly threatened her with a knife. But what he actually said, at least according to the woman that witnessed it in the video, was that he was going to pull out a band, which is obviously slang for pulling out, you know, a little money piece, as in a rubber band. You know, the way people tend to wrap their money up when it's in dollars. If you don't have a money clip, you know, a rubber band works pretty well, and that's what they call it. So not finding a weapon, that immediately sort of lends some credence to some of the claims that the kid was innocent, right? You know, everybody in the video was kind of shouting down the police about it. They were telling him that he didn't do anything. That might be true. And it looks like it's probably true. Which also in turn means one of two things, in my opinion. It either means that the CVS clerk is retarded and, you know, just an old boomer that didn't understand, you know, a very simple expression, and for some reason couldn't take the extra second or two to parse it out with the kid and ask him what he meant, or, you know, even just wait to see what he does. You know, if he takes out a knife, you know, I mean, then you know, but it would be pretty self-explanatory if he says he's going to pull out a band and then pulls out some money, right? But instead, she immediately freaked out, I guess, and called the cops. So that's not great. Option number two is that she is, in fact, racist. I lean more toward option one, personally. I think, you know, more often than not, it's actually just stupidity that explains a lot of the behaviors that people would otherwise kind of attribute to, you know, some kind of an ism, you know, racism, sexism, you know, homophobism or homophobia. These things, I think, are usually better explained by people just kind of genuinely being stupid. However, I think there could be a little bit of latent racism there too. Certainly the amount of fear that was generated in this woman from a simple expression that she didn't understand it kind of it sort of suggests maybe there's some racism there, because I mean, if somebody said something that you didn't understand, but you weren't kind of looking at them a certain way, right? Like, I mean, do you immediately call the cops? Probably not. That's strange. She clearly had a heightened sense of tension with this kid from the beginning, I would imagine, for her to be that afraid of an expression she didn't understand. So there's that. Right? I think it is probably true that there was some latent racism in there, but I think it's more true that this boomer was just fucking stupid. She was not a very intelligent woman. It looked like when she was trying to respond to the bystander that was kind of throwing some shade at her, that she was chewing crackers or something. She had shit all in her mouth. It was a little bit weird. Yeah, I mean, she didn't come off as super bright to me, but so there's that, right? Some other things that I think should be addressed. I think that kid, given the other things that we talked about, the fact that they didn't find a weapon, and you know, there are witnesses saying what he said and all of this, right? I think that kid really, really fucked this situation up. The way that he struggled so mightily against the police when he knew he didn't do anything, when he knew he was innocent, right? Now, they were all saying that the cops came in aggressive. The kid was actually saying that the cop beat him up. Unfortunately, you know, we don't have any video of any of that as far as I know. I haven't seen it. You know, presumably at some point some body cam footage will come out, and that might exonerate the police. It might validate the claims from the kid. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they do put that out. But I think, considering the call was for an armed person threatening people in CVS, you have to sort of expect that the police are going to come in a little bit hot, a little bit aggressive, and try and de-escalate and detain the suspect as quick as possible. So the best thing that he could have done in that situation would have been to immediately, you know, comply. You put your hands up, you spread your fingers wide, you make sure that they see that there's nothing in your hands. Usually, you know, they might want you to drop to your knees and wait for them to come and grab you. You know, a lot of the time they're going to give you those instructions as they're you know, making this detainment. But these are just good things to do to de-escalate right away. You know, have some faith in your own innocence and de-escalate. You know, keep your head about you. You have a statement that you are going to give to the police. They're not just going to throw you in the cell without ever getting your side of it. And what's better than that is that you have several people around you that are all witnesses to it, that are all actually, if we listen, giving their accounts in real time to the police as you're being apprehended. Okay, so those accounts will also help to, exonerating you from these accusations. Now, another thing that'll help is CVS has got security cameras all in the building, all over, certainly on the cash registers. Okay, so you've got security cam footage that they would have, immediately pulled up and looked at. Now, I don't know if they have any audio. Probably not. A lot of the security cam footage, for some reason, these billion-dollar companies, don't really use cameras that capture audio for some reason. So you might not have gotten him saying, "I'm going to pull out a band." But you would probably see, the kid probably acting very nonchalant because he wasn't trying to threaten her with a knife. He was just trying to pay for whatever he's getting. And then you'd see the woman freaking out over no reason. And that would tell you something, too. And then you would get her account as well, and she would probably say that he said exactly, what he said. I would hope that she would say what he said, and not what she thought he said, um, or what she thought it meant. I would imagine if she was being honest about the situation, hopefully, that she would say, yeah. And then he said he was going to pull out a band, and so he threatened me with a knife, and then the cops would be able to piece together this puzzle very quickly, and he would be on his way home, ideally very shortly. Now, because of what he did here, all of that went tits up. It went awry immediately. And so instead of it being something that the cops could very quickly piece together, he refuses to comply. He doesn't want to let them cuff him. He's shouting and blaming people, and ultimately now they charge him with two things. One was like a breach of peace or something like that, and the other was resisting arrest or something like that. Let me look that up real quick. Oh, nope. They gave him assault. They gave him a charge of assault and breach of peace charge, and then they released him to one of his parents. Assault, I guess, is probably somewhere in there. Definitely at the start of the video, he had a strong grip on one of the police that was trying to detain him. So there may have been a little bit of pushback in there that we didn't really get to see, and that might explain that one. But either way, he created the charges that they gave him. They didn't exist before that. The only thing that they were there to do was detain a person that was a suspect in what was reportedly an armed conflict in a CVS, which apparently was untrue because they never found a weapon, and all of the people there were there to, immediately kind of debunk that. This is important. This is important to examine because there are so many instances of people of all races, but people coming in contact with the police and just having absolute fucking brainworms and not knowing how to diffuse that situation in the most amenable way, to prevent them from worsening their own situations. And that in and of itself is a fucking tragedy, because now this kid has a record. I don't know what it looked like before, but now for sure he has a record, and it doesn't look good. It looks like violent crime record, disturbing the peace, breach of peace, like any of that shit. It looks bad now. So please, for the love of fucking God, teach your kids how to handle authority. Teach them how to respond to the police in these situations. Teach them how to diffuse and de-escalate. To keep their heads about them, to have faith in their own innocence when they're innocent. These are important things. We should all know how to be in society in uncomfortable situations without making it worse. We should all know how to do that. I understand he's a minor. Okay, I get it. And I understand that he was presumably and almost, by everything that I've seen, almost certainly innocent of the initial claim. All the more reason that he doesn't do this to himself. He could have had a clean record, walked away, went about his business, and now he's got this blemish on him that's going to potentially follows him the rest of his life. And this could actually radically alter the trajectory of his life. I mean, let's be real. If he had not had any priors, if he didn't have any kind of a record before, this could fuck up his life. Legitimately. So, it's so disheartening and sad to see people just absolutely breaking down and becoming their own worst enemies in situations that, if you just manage to keep your composure, will probably not net you a negative outcome. And then, now, the last point I want to look at, the last thing I want to touch on, is the bystander situation here. I don't think they were helpful at all. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that everything that they did escalated the situation more. It made it worse. Okay, now they could have, and mind you, I'm not speaking at all on their intent. I understand. I can see and I can hear and I can parse, the intent that these people had to defend him, because they thought that he was innocent and that he's a minor and the cops were being rough and all of this stuff, right? I think that their hearts were in the correct places. I think that their heads were in the wrong place. Because of their own civic outrage, they end up making the situation worse. Because really what the best outcome would have been would be that the kid keeps his head, he complies with all of the instructions from the police. He allows them to detain him, and he gives his account. Okay? Then the bystanders who were watching this happen calmly allow the police to then take their accounts, their witness testimonies for what happened as well. Okay? We're building here a foundation of innocence from all angles by that point. Okay? Because now you've got him, he's detained, he complied, he had all the right behaviors there. He gives his side of the story. It sounds like a simple misunderstanding. They search him, they find no weapon. They search the premises, they find no weapon. They look at security cam footage. They don't see him dumping a weapon. They can see the general body language. Possibly, maybe they have some audio on that camera, and they can actually hear exactly what he said. Okay, those would be ideals, but you'd be able to get a few decent pieces of information from the security cam footage. You can debrief the clerk who made the initial accusation and see if that matches up more or less with the accounts from the bystanders and the kid. All of these things would build a pretty solid foundation of innocence for this kid. And I think any reasonable cop at that point would be like, okay, it was a simple misunderstanding, and they would I would imagine, let him go. Release him to his parent and just let him go on his way. And he might walk away a little bit sour at the police, especially if one of them actually was a little bit rough with him. My question would still be whether or not they were coming in hot while he was being somewhat compliant, because we don't know. Or was he already kind of combative? He got an assault charge, so there's a chance that he might have escalated immediately, and that might have been what. I don't know. There's a lot of what ifs, and I don't want to get into it. I think the absolute worst thing that could have happened, though, happened. He lost his head, and none of this is not understandable. I get it. It's just not the move. It's not what will help you through it, in the most optimal way. And that's also true for the bystanders. It's understandable the way they reacted, especially if everything that they said was true. It's understandable that they would be outraged at the situation. It's understandable that they would be you know, heated at the way that the kid is being handled. For, you know, he's innocent, he's a minor, he's being fucking manhandled by 3 men. All of this is understandable. It's just not the move. It's not the right way to move through this. It just isn't. You know, all they really did, never mind their intent, all they really did was put panic and frantic energy out there that escalated the tension, it escalated the situation, and certainly that kid is listening to that and getting himself even more gassed up on it. It's just not what anyone should have been doing there. It really isn't. And it made an already combustible situation kind of boom in the worst way. So yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much everything I wanted to touch on with this. It's an unfortunate video. It really is. Everything about it kind of went wrong. It could have gone a totally different direction if people had just, if they'd been just a little bit less ignorant of the right way to do this. No. Everything went wrong in this video in a way that could have been totally avoided by very simple and small changes in attitude and energy. And that is the tragedy here. I just hope the kid can maybe work something out with the police at this point. I mean, to me, the ideal situation now would be that the body cam exonerates the police from any sort of physical aggression or beating him up the way that the kid was saying. I hope that they exonerate themselves with body cam footage and then drop the charges on the kid completely in exchange for, you know, some community service or some community outreach program or something like that. I think that would be the best case scenario at this point, and it could help to extend a little bit of an olive branch. I'm going to throw it out there. I hope that fucking clerk got fired. I hope she got fucking termed. That is outrageous. Like, what, I think her name was Judy. I think her name tag said Judy. I might be mistaken. Yeah, I hope she lost her job. Because all of this is the result of one stupid fucking out-of-touch clerk who may or may not have had some racist underpinnings. And the result of her stupidity was this kid potentially having his entire life fucked. Depending on what his record looked like before this, you know, depending on because I don't know anything about the kid outside of this, but if he had a clean record and this is the first real altercation and interaction with the police that he's ever had, and this woman's claim that he was threatening her with a fucking knife is the thing that derails this kid, it's just you know, she needs to lose her job. She does. She needs to go. And I'm gonna be honest with you, maybe she shouldn't be in a public-facing position like that. Maybe she shouldn't be in a customer service position dealing with the public. Because apparently she is way too out of touch to not cause just an unbelievably stupid powder keg situation for no fucking reason. I hope she gets termed if she hasn't already, and I hope that they I hope they work something out with the kid to potentially do right by him. Those are just my hopes for this situation, but yeah. So that was the video I wanted to make. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you disagree with me anywhere. Maybe I'm overlooking something. It's entirely possible. I've only really watched the video and sat down and thought about it twice in the time that it's been out. So I mean, if there's an angle I'm not considering, or there's some particular information I'm not privy to, or some further development that I haven't heard or read, let me know.